Welcome back, everyone. This is Sencrad from the 2, doing another video for my Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition walkthrough. I just listened to my Ranger video I just did. I've already found an error in it, so that's good. And I'm hearing my... I have a little bit of a cold, so I apologize if I have a little bit of a lisp. In this video, I'll be going over the second build, Power Build Dual Wielding Grenade Wizard. Very similar to the first video, explaining the strengths of the build, how to build it, why to build it this way, etc., etc. I suggest building this as the second choice for your Source Hunter, for the same reasons as I suggest building the Ranger for your first. There's nobody in the game that builds into these well. Your 4 companions, the Bartador, or whatever that frickin' name is, Medora, Jahan, and Walgruff. Some weird names. Those are the 4 companions you can get. Now, you can hire hirelings, but they're not as good. You have to have them in your party at all points in time. They don't auto-level up with you, so unless you're going to be taking, I think it was Elisa, who's currently glitched out in the game. If you're going to take her, I guess. But anyway, so the reason why you're going to go with building this is because nobody builds into this well. And part of the reason is because the build's so powerful, but also because nobody else in the game can build into it well at all. You need to have 2 talents right off the bat for it. You need to have stat allocations that are on, etc., etc. And most of the, you get 5 stat points at creation, 5. You don't get that many in the game, and so those 5 points that you get at creation, they're very important. And so if they screw those up, that's important. And like I've said, and I will preface all 4 of these videos with, this guide is based off of Tactician mode. It's also based off of no mods. Now what that means is that there are mods that allow you to do 4-person creation. There are mods that allow you to edit the character from the ground up. Now that changes the whole dynamic of the entire game. Well, first of all, you're not going to get any achievements on Steam, so FYI on that. But second of all, it changes the dynamic of the entire guide. Now this guide is based off of the assumption that you're not going to use mods. You're going to be using what's available in the game. Now why that's important is because this is based off of what is the best you can do with what's been given to you. And in that case, this is the best 4 that you can do. If you could build everything from the ground up or do 4-person creation mods, you might have actually 2 or 3 Rangers and 1 dual wielding grenade wizard. That might be how you build it, because it's just they're that effective, and just make your dual anyway. But anyway, it would change everything. And I'm getting on a tangent, but so don't come into the guide, don't come into the videos and say, well, why would you build this? And I go, are you playing with mods? And they're like, yeah. Okay, I can't help you because I don't know what mods you're using, and you're building from the ground up, and so everything's are different. So the only person in the game that can build into this build even remotely well is Jahan, and he doesn't do it very well at all. Yes, I gave it a C- level. Bartador, or whatever her name is, it's such a weird name. She builds into the Ranger build even worse. So she's like a D- or an F, so she can't build into that. So, so what do you do at creation? If you're really confused with the creation process and how to do it, and how do you customize them, and why do you do this and that, just go to the creation video, which is in the walkthrough. It should be there. Just go up to it, watch that video. It'll explain the creation very well. For the builds, the way this is designed is that you start on point 1, obviously, and you're going to do what it says at the end for each one of these points. Now, what does that mean? It means man-at-arms, scoundrel, water, fire, air, and earth skills. You're going to raise every single one of these individually up to skill level 1. So man-at-arms, skill level 1, scoundrel, skill level 1, water, etc., etc. Once all of those are skill level 1, you're going to move on to the number 2, and you're going to do whatever it says, which is, in this case, bring dual wielding, man-at-arms, and scoundrel up to 3. Once that happens, go on to the next one, etc., etc. So we're going to start at the beginning. We're going to explain why. Man-at-Arms 1. Why are you going to want this, especially early on in the game? This is what's going to open up your melee power stance. Very important. So it's going to open up your battering ram, which is probably your two most important to get right off the bat, because that's your easy mobility and that's your extra damage on everything in the game. It's also going to open up a slew of other useful skills, but those are your two most important right off the bat. Scoundrel, skill level 1, that's going to open up your 3 novice Scoundrel skills, which I will go over what the skills are specifically later on, and why those 3 are so powerful and important to have early on. Water, skill level 1. This is your healing magic, and it's good to have early on. Skill level 1 in this will give you restoration, and that's priceless. Fire, skill level 1 is going to give you some very useful early fire skills, including Firefly and skills I will go over. Air level 1, I'll go over that as well, or I'll go over that as well. I won't repeat myself. But it's 3 in each, so you get 3 novice skills for just 1. So right off the bat, you're going to be giving yourself 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 skills right off the bat. Boom, right? And that gives you a huge base to work with. Okay. The next thing you're going to be doing is bringing dual wielding up to 3, man-at-arms up to 3, and scoundrel up to 3. Now, why is this important? Because this is where the bread of your damage is going to be coming from for the better part of levels. I would probably say 7 to 14 and beyond. This is where the bread and butter of your damage is going to be coming in. Dual wielding level 3 is also important because you're going to get dual wielding hopefully up to a level 2, maybe even level 3 before you hit the twins. And that's important because it's going to lower the AP cost on dual wielding substantially, which is really going to help with your wands during that. If you're confused with what I'm talking about here, go to the twins, it's a boss fight, and watch that video. Once all these are at level 3, you're going to go on to witchcraft, and you're going to bring that up to a 2. Okay? I don't even have witchcraft here. It's not even that important. But once you do this, bring witchcraft up to 2. Why is this important? Because at this point in time, you're probably going to want to upgrade your Summon Spider into your Summon Undead Decapitator. You're also going to want your Destroy Summon, both of which are extremely important, and you're going to want to get that at about this time. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to be putting points into water. So you're going to be putting water to 3, then you're going to be putting water to 4. At about that time, you're going to hit level 15. Level 15, that's good, because you don't want to be hitting level 4 in water before level 15, because you're not going to be able to use your master level skill, and it's going to be wasted. Water level 4, get your hail attack. Next thing you're going to do is bring air up to 4. Why? Because you're going to get your storm spell. And then you're going to round it up by putting dual wielding up to 5 at the end. That's going to max out your damage output and lower the AP cost to 3. If you're going to give him or her the book that increases skill points, you're going to put the remaining points in the willpower bodybuilding. Because if you think you need more points in bodybuilding willpower, it's probably because you're fighting not very intelligently, and so I would suggest going to my videos with whatever fight that you're struggling with, and I will show you a better way to fight it. Okay, at creation, you're going to want slingshot and pinpoint as talents. Now, what this is going to mean is at creation, you're going to have to put a point in man-at-arms, and you're going to have to put a point in scoundrel, because that's what is prerequisite for these 2 talents. Now, why is this important? And why? Because this is from levels 1 to probably level 10. Throwing grenades are the most powerful thing in the game. By far the most powerful thing in the game. I would say that some special arrows are also pretty useful, but nothing matches the versatility and the damage and the crowd controllability of grenades. Slingshot, pinpoint allows you to use them. If you don't have slingshot, which makes it so you can throw further, it's just going to hinder your ability to throw them. If you don't have pinpoint, you're going to be using grenades at your own risk. This is this is one of those, XCOM Enemy Unknown situations where, you have source hunters, or in XCOM Enemy Unknown, you have the special trained and the special trained and the special trained that can't throw a grenade. They can master witchcraft's abilities, but they can't throw a grenade. And the RNG god of the grenades is just brutal. Just brutal. And so be ready to have them turn to their side, throw it, and hit the tree next to you, and vaporize your entire party. Use grenades without pinpoint at your own risk, which there is going to be a lot of risk. Which is why this build is singly the most important. Why this build's the most important to do at creation. Why? Because you get 2 talents at creation, but then you get the rest over the course of the entire game. And what that means is somebody like Jahan, he comes, or any of the companions, they come with 2 talents already pre-chosen. You can't change that, you can't edit that unless you're using mods and or cheating. And so you're going to be using grenades probably to level 10 without pinpoint or slingshot. So severely handicapped. So the picking Jahan, building him into that build, and then not actually being able to use grenades effectively is majorly ineffective for the build. So anyway, that's why it's important. Pick up slingshot, pick up pinpoint, start with a fighter so that you get your firestorm grenade right off the bat. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to get far out man. Why? Because this is just a useful spell. It's a skill spell. The entire game. It's going to allow you to cast your hail attack a little bit further away, so you don't get yourself frozen. Bully. This is good around this time, because Bully is what's going to enable you to deal even more damage for knockdown opponents and such. Then you're going to get Opportunist, then Backstab. And you know what? Opportunist and Backstab could go back and forth. I've gone back and forth with those 2, deciding which ones I want to get first. It depends on what skills you get first. If you can pick up your daggers drawn and all that stuff right off the bat, then Backstab becomes actually really important, and Opportunist becomes less important. But anyway, so those 2 can go back and forth. And the last one is Parry Master. And so those are your talents that you're going to be picking up. If you're confused at why you're going to take those, just read the description on them. Bully increases 50% damage to people that are slowed, crippled, or knocked down. You're going to be able to cripple, you're going to be able to slow, and you're going to be able to knock down as this build, so this is highly effective. Opportunist is the attack if they try to run away. Backstab, it gives backstab criticals, which I will show you in some videos how powerful that actually is. What you're going to be doing here is you're going to be putting a ratio of 1.5 into each one of these. So what ends up happening is at creation, you're going to have intellect, dex, and strength at 7, 7, and 6. You can go any order, so you can go 7 in strength, 7 in dex, 6 in intellect, or whatever. It doesn't matter. So 6.5, because you're not going to have enough to bring all of these up to 7. So it's going to be 7, 7, and 6. And then your very first level, you're going to put the point in the other thing. So the very first level you get on the bridge, you're going to be a 7, 7, and 7 in all of these. By the end game, you're going to be a 10, a 10, a 10 in all 3 of these. Okay? So what this is once again the ratios. Right? So this is 7, 7, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 7, 7, 8, 8, 7, 8, 8, 8, etc., etc. Until you get to 10, 10, 10. Okay? That's all this is talking about is proportions. If you want to read the, how to build and all that, go here. Oh, I probably should include this, though. Wield a dagger in your main hand at all points in time. People say, why? Because you're not going to be able to do use your Scoundrel skills, which I will be going over in a second. You won't be able to use those unless a dagger's in your main hand. So you say, well, are those skills really worth losing out on the damage of having an axe and an axe? Yes they are, and I'll explain that in a second. So, wield a dagger in your main hand at all points in time. The reason is because you are going to be needing a dagger in your main hand in order to use the Scoundrel skills, which, guess what? we're going to be going over right now. The skills of this build. So, teleportation, he's going to want that in air. He's also going to want thunder jump. This is important because teleportation, limitless applications. Teleport barrels onto people, teleport people to you, etc., etc., etc. Teleport people onto fire. Thunder jump, or lava. Thunder jump is one of the only mobility skills in the game. Super useful. And it has a chance to stun. Limitless applications, especially for your build. Also, thunder jump will auto put you behind the person, so you can then instantly, you can thunder jump to somebody and then instantly, without wasting AP, go into a backstab, which is fantastic. Okay, battering ram doesn't automatically put you there. You're gonna have to battering ram and make it go to a position that is behind the person. Shocking touch. You're going to be in people's faces. This is one of those touching spells early on in the game that will cost very, 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 very little AP and have limitless applications because of its low AP and its CC that it provides. Okay, but that's what you're going to take at level 1. Level 4, by the time you get the skill up to level 4, you're going to be able to take every single one of the novice skills in air, except for one. Don't take Avatar of Storms. It's worthless. Adept, you're going to be able to take every single one of them, except for one. Don't take Air Absorption for the same reason as this. It's just not useful. Master level, you're going to pick up Storm. Level 1 Earth, everyone in your party is going to be having this. You're going to go Boulder Bash, Midnight Oil, Summon Spider. You're going to be taking Summon Spider at Creation. Why? This is one of the best summons that you can get from levels 1 to 10, maybe. Super useful. It changes the tide of battle. It's a phenomenal ability. It's immune to a poison. Midnight Oil, Boulder Bash, these are your two spreading oil all over the battlefield. These are going to be even more important for this build. Why? Because this is the build that's going to be throwing firestorm grenades like they're, toilet paper. And so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be throwing down Boulder Bash, throwing down Midnight Oil, then throwing one firestorm grenade. Then what you're going to be doing with every single person in your party is casting more Boulder Bashes, more Midnight Oil to spread the fire everywhere so that the enemies run through it and kill themselves. So that's why this is important. Level 1 in Fire, you're going to be picking up Firefly. Why is this important? Because if you ever run out early on in the game, or if you just don't want to waste another Firestorm grenade, Firefly enables you to set fires in a path really good in front of you. Also in certain points in the game, which I'll show you, you can do Firefly through a wall and kill people, which is useful. It's a great ability, but it's more useful on dual wielding and Shadowblade because they'll be standing in the front of the party. The person in the back of the party will set the party on fire, which is not good. Burning Touch, another touch ability, which is endless CC. Burning Touch is also phenomenal as it is the best door remover in the game. So if you come across a door, you don't want to bring somebody back to pick it, just burn the door down. It does the most damage of anything in the game. Just burn it. Wildfire is the best remedy to frozen in the game. It's a haste spell, but it also warms you. So if somebody gets frozen in your party, if all of you, or all three of these actually, Ranger, Dual Wielding, Shadowblade, if all three of you have a Wildfire and somebody gets frozen, it's very easy to cast Wildfire on one of the three that's frozen and instantly get them unfrozen. So it's a fantastic ability, useful the whole game. Level 4 Watcher, everyone's gonna. These three are gonna get this. Once again, less than 6 means when you are level 4 in a skill, you can learn 6 novice skills. There are less than 6 or less than or equal to 6 novice skills, which means learn all of them. Adept, don't take Waters of Life, Water Absorption, or Ice Wall. Those 3 are terrible. So just don't take them. All the other Adept skills you'll be able to learn. You're going to want to pick up Hail Attack as a master level. Level 2 Witchcraft. Now what you're going to want to not take is Summon Undead Warrior and Malediction. The reason why you're not going to be taking this one is because in Adept, you're going to be taking the Summon Undead Decapitator, which is much better. And this is just not all that useful. You can take all the other novice skills. In Adept, you're going to be picking up Summon Undead Decapitator. That is going to be an upgrade to your Summon Spider, and you're going to be learning Destroy Summon because summons are annoying, and that ability is phenomenal, especially when 3 of your people will have it. Level 1, Man-at-Arms, Battering Ram, Helping Hand, Melee, Power Stance, like I said, are going to be the first 3 you get. When you get it up to 3, what you're going to not want is Melee Defensive Stance, because that's for pussies, or Divine Light. Adept, you're going to be picking up Rage, Crippling Blow, and Whirlwind. And that's why you want this level 3, because Rage is needed at level 3. Rage becomes a 2 AP skill, Crippling Blow becomes a 4 AP massive damage ability that also cripples them, which is good for Bully, and Whirlwind is Whirlwind. So, that is that. And then we're going to go down to Scoundrel. So Scoundrel, you're going to want that to be a level 3. Now, why are you going to want that to be level 3? Well, because you're going to want Fast Track, pre-level 15, change that to Adrenaline. I've explained that in multiple areas, so you should know the reasons why. But I'll go over it again. So, Fast Track is only good on subsequent turns. It hastens you. It allows you to regain more AP in subsequent turns. Once you get post-level 15, i.e. master level skills, you kill people in the first or second turn. Always. Even the last 3 bosses, which I will show you, which you can see in the last 3 bosses video, they can all be taken out in the first or second turn. Now, why does Adrenaline become more powerful then? Because then you can do a master level skill, use Adrenaline, then use another master level skill. It becomes overpowered. Where Fast Track is only useful for subsequent turns, which, if you're killing people in the first or second turn, doesn't ever it doesn't ever apply. And so Fast Track becomes worthless. You're going to walk in shadows. You're going to take down a creation. Why? Because this is what enables you to steal everything in the town. You're going to take Wing Feet or Hover Feet. That enables you to defeat all puzzles and also is useful in the middle of fights sometimes. Precision Incision, Lanceret, and Venomous Strike are going to be 3 that you pick up in dual wielding for the dual wielding in Scoundrel, because these are going to be your 3 skills. These are going to be 3 skills that you're going to be using a lot. Very, very low AP. 100% chance to hit, have 150% damage, and all have CC. Phenomenal, phenomenal abilities. And so this is why these skills and others I'll go on. These are why you want a dagger in your main hand. Because having the little bit extra damage from dueling axes, having the +1, +2, +3 speed on the crafted dagger, as well as having all of these extremely useful abilities that you can use, more than dwarfs the little bit extra damage you get from the dual axes. Okay, these 3 abilities, try them out. See them in my videos how useful these 3 can be. Adept, you're going to pick up Eye Gouge, which is another one like these. It does like 100. All these deal like 150 damage, 50% damage with a CC. One of them makes you weak. One of them poisons you. One of them makes you bleed. One of them blinds you. Just phenomenal. Then you're going to pick up Daggers Drawn. Daggers Drawn is going to be your ability, as I'll show you in the videos, that is, not in my opinion, in Math's opinion, more effective than Flurry skill for Man-at-Arms Mastery level. Well, and why is that important? Because this is first of all, this is an adept ability, which means it costs 3 skill points. The Mastery level Flurry costs 4 points. Okay, Flurry is based off of the chance that you're gonna land a crit. Okay, which means that you do Flurry, it has a chance to do, as I'm doing this off the top of my head. You can go see my actual videos on it if you want the actual numbers, but my spitballing is pretty accurate. If you do a mastery level flurry with an axe, which gives you more crit chance, etc., you have a chance to deal anywhere from 3,000 damage to 8,000 damage, or 9,000 damage, I think it is. So it has a spread of 6,000 damage. Okay, so it's absolutely a huge spread. Based off of how many of them actually hit and how many of them actually critical. Where Daggers Drawn, if you use Daggers Drawn from a backstab position, so you use Thunder Jump or you use Battering Ram to get behind somebody. Battering Ram is preferable because Battering Ram has a chance to knock the enemy down. So you Battering Ram behind them. You then use your abilities, Melee Power Stance, Rage, to increase the damage. And then use Daggers Drawn, Backstab on the now knocked down enemy. You will be dealing a solid 6 to 7,000 damage every time. It is not, there's no range on the ability, okay? Because a backstab crit is always a backstab crit, okay? It's 100% backstab crit once you have that. There is no percent chance, okay? It's 100%. And so you will be dealing constantly 7,000 damage. Now, will a Flurry have a chance to deal more, like 9,000? Yes, but the chances are mathematically not likely, okay? Because all these abilities, the Daggers Drawn and Flurry, they're a 4-hit. Boom, 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 boom. So what that means is that with a Flurry, for example, you have to hit, then you have to crit. Now, if you have, let's say, a 40% chance to crit, okay? Or, you know what? Let's say a 50%. Let's give you the most amazing odds. So a 50% chance. That's a 1/2 chance, okay? Then you have to then crit again, okay? Now, does that mean that there's and then crit again and crit again? Now, does that mean that you have a 50% chance then to deal 90%? No. That means that you have a 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. That's what it means. So 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 2, 8. 8 times 2, 16. That means that even if you get a 50% chance to crit, you have a 1 in 16 chance. 1 in 16 chance to actually deal 9,000 damage. Now, that means if you do it 16 times in the game, you might get it to happen once. That's what that means, okay? So mathematically, you're going to be able to deal far more damage with Daggers Drawn, far more smoothly, far more less sporadically than with Flurry. So that's why this is more important than having 2 axes. So anyway, tangent, forgive me. Daggers Drawn, uber powerful. You want to see how powerful it is? Check out the end game bosses. Check out when I'm walking through Phantom Forest, and you can check this out. This is one of my favorite favorite combos in the game. Casting Rage on yourself, casting Melee Power Stance on yourself, then using Battering Ram behind an enemy. So your Battering Ram will have Melee Power Stance and Fury on it, which means it'll do maximum damage. It then has a chance to knock the enemy down, which your strength should be high enough that it's a pretty good chance. You then are behind the enemy, and you can instantly go into Daggers Drawn. You'll hit them for backstab criticals with Flurry, Melee Power Stamps, backstab critical, and their knockdown, so Bully will apply, and you'll instantly kill them. So it's phenomenal combo. It's fun to pull off. Daggers Drawn. So you want that. Become Air. It's kind of one of your get out of jail free, and same with Cloak and Dagger. These two with Walk in Shadows, those 3, I suppose, are kind of your Walk in Shadows, are your get out of jail free card. So if you jump into a fight and you're like, man, that was dumb, those 3 can help you get out of it. And so anyway, wow, this is getting long. But those are your 3. Now I'm going to go in, because this video is not long enough as it is, my lisping tirades. And we're going to show you this guy at the end of the game. And what gear to look for, potentially. Not potentially. Definitely. Okay, so here is your guy. Here he is at the end of the game. There's his dagger in the main hand. There's his axe in the offhand. Okay. You can pause it to look at damage or whatever else. So strength 24, dex 18, intelligence 18, 7, 14, 9. If you go in here, you can see 14 from gear. You can do the math. That's 10, right? Dexterity 8. That's 10. Intelligence 5. That means it's 13. I don't know why that's so high. I must have used the books that increase stats on him. Speed 9, as you can see. Perception. So those are all from the gear. You want to take a gander at his damage output.
Take no prisoners.
Here they are right here. You can pause it. You can pause it and take a look at those numbers and why they're so important. Okay, so for gear, I'll go over them real quick. You can pause it at these times to see. This one's important. So you're going to want +1 dual wielding on the belt at all costs. So you see this belt really doesn't have very many other things on it. I couldn't find any other belt that had a +1 to dual wielding with anything better. So that's the best I got for that. Your crafted dagger should always come with +3 speed. And there you go. So that was the best gear I could come up with. The skills should be the same. So there's your 6 in dual wielding. That's important. And all the other ones should be the same, right? You'll see 4, 1, 4, 3, 1, 3, 3, etc., etc. So anyway, so there it is. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that if you had some confusions, that this clears it up. You know, something else that I might mention here, which I actually didn't mention in the other video, so here's how I laid some of these things out, all my touchings, is this. Source Hunter backpack is where you throw all your backpacks in, all my grenades into, and then you'll click it and drag it down in here into your box. Okay? Boop, 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 like this, and this allows you to do this. I throw my Walk in Shadows here because this is my stealing. I throw my this in here because you can just do this over and over again to get drunk when you find this item. Once drunk, you can then open a chest and it'll increase your lucky charm by 2, so you'll have a lucky charm of 3. Have a better chance of getting some crap if you want to do that. What I was going to get at here, though, is that you can spend a lot of time putting grenades in here. What you don't want to do is stick your crafting gear in here, okay? Now, the reason is what you'll end up doing is you'll end up grabbing the whole backpack like this, because it has your crafting gear in it, and when you go to get your mule, so let's say Black was my mule, you'll move it into Black's inventory, right? Well, watch what happens. You'll lose all this work you just did, and you'll have to re-put these in each time. So, do not, and you'll, same thing for your ranger, okay, with her arrows, you know? Don't put the crafting stuff in here. Keep the crafting stuff out in the open. Move it into the spots individually so that you don't have to redo this. So anyway, I hope this video was useful. Hope it was useful. It was very long, very tangenty. If you have any other questions with the build, feel free to drop a question, and I'll get back to you. But hopefully this answered everything. You'll feel comfortable knowing what you need to do, how to do it, and be able to tear some stuff up. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is Sencrad, and we'll go on to the next video.